Hello everyone, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club, and welcome to my channel. Tonight, travel back in time with me to 1911, to a pivotal time in the formation of the modern game of baseball. We will assume the role of one of the iconic owners of the period, like Benjamin Scheib, John T. Brush, and Barney Dreyfuss, as we turn what was a regional sport into a national pastime, as we learn to set up and play Lords of Baseball from Mr. B Games. This is the second title that I've purchased from Mr. B Games, and I cannot be happier with the production quality of their games. So far I've purchased Spring and Autumn, The Story of China, and now the Lords of Baseball. And both games definitely have hit home runs in the production values. Wait till you see what we've got for this game. The game includes a 30-page, full-color, glossy rulebook, where it will walk the players through a nice written introduction and then the setup procedure for the game. The game includes 4 double-sided, double-layered player boards for each of the teams. Very well produced and pretty to look at. Also included is a double-sided league board, one for the Federal League and one for the Continental League. Also included are double-sided player aids, a worksheet and sequence of play, and a pad of these legacy tracker sheets where you can record your team statistics for future play. Also included are several sheets of counters, and they're double-sided. These are for the stadium tokens. They feature a nice print on the back. Also included are double-sided stadium boards. This one is the Brooklyn's Ebbets Field. And on the back we have Chicago's Southside Park. 3 sets of dice and cubes and roundels in 4 colors. And finally we have several decks of cards. We have series cards, schedule cards, franchise cards, star players, spring training deck, hot stove deck, season bonus deck, and championship series deck. The game also comes with a very nice box insert, and we can use that to keep our cards and player pawns nicely organized. Out of the box, the game allows the solitaire player to compete against 7 other teams, using an innovative mechanic to control the other teams. However, this only provides a beat-your-own-score system. However, the developers have released a free, dedicated solo system that allows the player to introduce 1 to 3 rivals into the mix, featuring a more developed AI opponent that allows the player a fuller and richer game experience, where you will compete against rival owners for victory points. These are available for free download on BGG, and they include 3 rival managers for you to battle against, along with the Deadball Dynasty solo rules and a player aid card. However, in tonight's video, I'll be concentrating on the rules out of the box, and I will feature the Deadball Dynasty solo rules in a future video. As a team owner, your focus is not just on what happens on the field, but in expanding your fan base, building stadiums, and developing your image in the media. We begin the setup by laying out the game board, and this is going to help us track the current year, along with the phase, victory points, and our fan track. There are also spaces for star players and for our future schedule in the regular season. Along the outside edge of the board is where we're going to track our season wins for our franchise. We place our year tracker in 1911, and we place our phase tracker in spring training. Now we have to decide on what league we wish to play in. Our choices would be the Continental League or the Federal League. And these are simply synonyms for the National League and American League. I've decided to play the Brooklyn Dodgers, so I'm going to be selecting the Continental League. And we place that tracker at the side of the board. Now we shuffle our card decks, and those include the Spring Training, Regular Season, Hot Stove, Franchise, Bonus, and Championship Series decks. We place them face down near the board. I've decided to place the decks in a card stand for my convenience. Now it's time to decide on what team we're going to play within the league. And I've decided to take the Brooklyn Trolley Dodgers. They will one day go on to become the world-famous Los Angeles Dodgers. We also take our stadium display, and that is going to be the historic Ebbets Field. Historically, Ebbets Field was completed in 1913, and it became a local icon in Flatbush, New York. We'll place that stadium display next to our team board. Then we take a set of our stadium tokens, including concessions, press box, bleachers, and field. And we arrange those in order of level from lowest down to highest. So from level 2 down to level 8. Next, we place 3 star players in the star player pool for each human player. As we're going to be playing solitaire game, we'll just place 3 of them in that stars holding box. Our rivals in the league will include the Boston Rustlers, later to become the Braves, Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds, New York Giants, later to become the San Francisco Giants, the Philadelphia Phillies, Pittsburgh Pirates, and the St. Louis Cardinals. Now we're going to draw a franchise card, and this is going to give us our starting attributes for our franchise. It's going to tell us our front office strength, strength of our farm system and manager, our team quality, along with the number of media tokens we're going to gain, starting cash, and then the number of stars, regulars, and prospects. And we're going to mark those on our player board. I've chosen to play with the red components, so we'll be using the red cubes and discs. So we'll start out with our front office. That's going to be level 3. Our farm system is also level 3. And our manager is level 4. In addition, our team quality is going to be a 7. We're also going to gain a total of 3 media tokens. And we'll place those in our media area at the lower left-hand corner of the board. Those media tokens can be very valuable. It allows us additional card draws, as well as they can be turned in for $5 in cash at any time. We begin the game with 2 stars, and we'll place those on the left-hand side of our board. And we'll also begin with 4 regulars and 4 prospects. In addition, we will begin with $22 in cash, so we'll mark it as 20 and 2 and 0 in the hundreds category. We place a disc of our color in the number 1 spot on the fan track. We place additional discs at 0 on the victory point track and 0 on our team wins track. Then we take our league schedule cards for our league. In this case, it's the Continental League, and we shuffle those and place them in the regular season draw pile area. Then we'll separate the team quality tokens into 2 separate stacks. One for starter, the other for future seasons. And we're going to use the starter tokens. There's 8 of them. And we'll be placing 7 of them to control the strength and number of wins that the non-player teams are going to possess. And we'll randomly put those out on the board. So we've placed out 7 of those team quality tokens for the teams that are not human controlled. We We have one left, and we're going to place that into the future team quality stack for future use. And so we've randomized those future team quality tokens, and we place them to the left of the NPT league board. Then we take our retirement tokens and we randomize them. I'm going to place mine into a draw bag for convenience. Then we take our media tokens and loan tokens and place them in some draw cups for convenience. And finally, we decide on the number of years that we want to play. We can either choose 3, 5, or 7 years. And in this case, I think we'll be selecting a 3-year. And that's it for setup. We will begin with the 1911 year with our spring training portion of the phase. Each game year is divided into 5 phases. We have the spring training, where we're going to attempt to improve our clubs. The regular season, where we'll play against our opponents in that league. Postseason, where we might be able to get into the World Series. A finances and victory point phase. And finally, a hot stove phase. Hot stove phase is an older name for what we would call today the winter meetings. So we're going to begin our spring training phase, and we're going to start with drawing a bonus card for the season. The season bonus could be thought of kind of as what the zeitgeist of the time would be. What do the fans want to see? And we're going to attempt to fulfill this to earn extra victory points. In this case, the season bonus will be scored at the conclusion of the hot stove phase. And we're looking for the most impact players. Impact players will be a combination of star players and regulars. Next, we're going to reveal the non-player teams' quality tokens. And this is going to tell us what the quality of each of those teams will be for this season. So, examining the tokens, we find out that the Boston team has a team quality of 6, Chicago a 5, Cincinnati a 9, New York a 7, Philadelphia 3, Pittsburgh with a 10, and St. Louis with 8. So what we're going to do now is note the highest team quality in that league, and that's going to be Pittsburgh. So we'll mark them with a green roundel, and it tells us that they're going to have 88 wins this year. So we're going to place a green roundel on 88 on the team track, on the games won track. We'll place that 85, 86, 87, 88. And that's what we need to beat this season. So we want to get our red wins at or above 88 games. So that's going to be pretty tough during the first year. So going into our spring training, we're going to examine the characteristics of our team and decide what we want to try to improve in order to score as many victory points as possible. Now, right now, the first observation we can make is our current team quality is 7. We know Pittsburgh is a 10, so they're going to be 3 levels higher than us in team quality. So it appears that we might want to be investing in improving our team quality. Now, examining our sequence player aid for spring training, it says that all players will draw spring training cards based on our farm system. So we're going to get 3 cards, and if our farm system was level 4, we would gain an extra card, and if we were level 5, we would gain an extra 2 cards. Well, unfortunately, our farm system is a 3, so we're going to be just entitled to 3 of those spring training cards. Now, we are able to spend some of our media tokens that we've got. We have 3 of them, and we'll be able to spend as many as 2 if we choose to get extra cards for spring training. And that might be something we might want to consider. And we have to decide this before we reveal any of our spring training cards. I think it would be worthwhile for us to invest at least one of our media tokens into spring training. So we're going to use the media to generate fan interest for our spring training. That'll give us an extra card. We'll have 4 cards. Now, as it says on the bottom of each of these spring training cards, choose one option during spring. So we can select one option from each of these cards that we can use to try to help improve our team in many ways. It might be in our team quality, by making changes from prospects to regulars, by trades. We can sign prospects, add fans, multitude of things. I think the first card that we're going to take action on is this card number 35. It says sign, pay $3 and gain 4 prospects. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll reduce our total by 3. 1, 2, and 3, bringing us down to $19. And we're going to gain a total of 3 prospects. That'll move our prospects up to 7. And that card is played. I think the next card we're going to choose is call up. We're going to get a prospect and change him into a regular. So we will do that. We'll deduct 1 prospect and gain 1 regular. Now you'll notice that on the regulars here, there are these numbers 0 through 8. When we're in that row, that's the amount of team quality that is added to the team based upon that number of regulars or star players or manager. If it's baseball's symbols, that's team quality. If it's the home plate, that's victory points. I think we're going to play card number 20, and that's going to be add 2 fans. So we're going to do that, and that'll increase our fan total by 2. And that's tracked on the main board. So we'll increase our fans by 2, moving us up to 3. And we have 1 spring training card left. And I think we're going to take advantage of this trade ability. Now, trades are interesting in that you can do it in either direction. You can gain a star for 3 prospects and $1, or you can sell a star for 3 prospects at $1. So you can use it either way. And in this case, I think we're going to try to get another star. So what we're going to do then is deduct 3 prospects. That'll move us down from 6 down to 3. And then we're also going to be deducting $1. We're down to 18. But we're going to gain another star. And we'll take that out of our star player pool and add that into our total. Once again, our team strength, team quality, is based on the number of stars, the row of regulars that we have, and our team manager. That all combines together to form our team quality. And that is the next step in spring training, is to calculate our new team quality. We have a total of 3 stars, so that'll be worth 3 team quality. We also have a 1 in the regulars row, so that's a 4th. And our team manager is at level 4. That'll add 4 more. So we're at a team quality of 8. We were able to use spring training to increase our team quality by 1. That'll make us more competitive in the season. So that is going to complete spring training, and we're going to move on now to the regular season. The regular season, we're going to be drawing 7 series cards, and we can use a media token to purchase an extra card. That extra card will give us a total of 8. Now we're going to be playing a total of 7 series between all the other league teams in the league. And so that would give us 1 card left over. That would give us the ability to choose, have more options in choosing. The 1 leftover card might be able to be used in the postseason, though, which could be critical. So following spring training, we've got 3 star players, 5 regular players, 3 prospects, team quality of 8. Our farm system is at 3, our team manager is at 4, front office at 3, and we still have a total of $18 in the coffers. And I think this is important enough where I'm going to spend one of our media tokens, and that's going to allow us to draw 8 series cards. So we've drawn 8 series cards. Our next step is to get our regular season schedule together. So we've shuffled our regular season deck. I'm going to give that a cut, and then this will tell us the schedule for the coming season. And we're going to be playing one set a series against each team in the league. So what we're going to do to start our regular season now is we're going to flip the top card, and that will tell us who the Brooklyn Dodgers are going to be playing. And in this case, our first game is Philadelphia versus Brooklyn. So we're at home. There is no advantage for home or away, but we'll be examining Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia, looking at the league board, has a team quality of only 3. So examining Philadelphia's team quality, we find out it is a 3. We currently have a team quality of 8. And what we're going to be doing is each side is going to be rolling a d6. And then they're going to add in that value to their team quality. And then the differential of that is going to tell us, looking at the records track, how many wins and losses the top scorer is going to gain in the season. Now, we're only going to be tracking Brooklyn. Philadelphia is there just as a dummy player, but it's going to tell us how many wins we are going to gain against Philadelphia this season. Now, in addition to the die rolls, the human player can also play one of these series cards, and they have different effects on them that we'll take a look at next. Now, this first card is Veteran Leadership. It says add the following team quality for this series only, and that's based on the number of regulars that we have on our squad at this time. Now, if we use that card right now, we have a total of 5 regulars. So that would be earning us an extra team quality for this series. Now, against Philadelphia, we probably don't need that, so we'll see if there's another card we can use. We can also use it at the bottom to gain 1 regular, so that's a possibility. This other card is Tall Grass and Watered Infields. If you have any field upgrade in your stadium, gain 1 team quality for this series only. Well, we don't. But one thing it does allow us to do is to take an immediate field innovation. And what that means is we would be able to discard the top token of the field stack of improvements. As it stands now, we have a level 2 improvement for our field. It would cost us $10 and would give us 1 to team quality. But this card would allow us to do an innovation, and what that basically means is we would remove that top token and it would reveal a level 3 field. We've done some innovation on it, and we're going to get a better result. It would cost us $30, but it would give us the ability to roll an extra die during the regular season. So instead of just us getting the result of a single die roll, we would be able to add a second die roll into the mix, and then we would be able to choose the higher of the 2 when we're computing our final totals in the series. So that was the Tall Grass and Watered Infields card. Another one is Buyers and Sellers. We can either give 2 prospects and $4 to get a star, or we can sell a star for 2 prospects and $4. Another option is to draw a spring training card and execute the trade if desired. That's a pretty interesting card. Our next series event card is Mid-Season Call-Up. Lose a prospect player, roll 2 dice, and add your farm system value. If the total is between 3 and 7, we would gain nothing. 8 to 11, we would gain a regular. 12 plus, we would gain a star from the supply, not the pool. So, and the other option is to gain a prospect. So that's an interesting card as well. Then we have Talent Discovery. Roll 2 dice and add your farm system value. If the total is Between 3 and 7, we'd gain a prospect. 8 to 11, we'd gain a regular. And 12 plus, we'd get a star from the supply, not from the pool. Then we have increase fan base. Roll 2 dice and add your front office value to that total. Between 3 and 7, we would add a fan. 8 to 13, we'd add 2 fans. And then 14 plus, we could add 3 fans. That's a good card. Then we have player improvement. Lose 1 regular player. Gain a star player. This star player comes from the supply, not from the star pool. That's pretty interesting. And then it would also alternately allow us to gain a regular. And the last card that we have is Scouts. You and your series opponent may individually elect to pay $8 to increase your farm system by 1 level. If already at level 5, $5 must be paid to maintain it or drop to 4. Whoever elects not to pay must drop 1 level and gain $8. If at level 1, gain $5. If against an NPT, gain 1 team quality. All right. So those are the cards that we have available to us for this first series against Philadelphia. Now, considering we're playing against Philadelphia and we have a 5-point advantage in team quality, I'm probably going to play a card that won't necessarily affect the outcome of the series. We're going to use this Tall Grass and Watered Infields card, and I'm going to use it for the portion at the bottom. Take 1 immediate field innovation. So we're going to discard that level 2 field token, and that will reveal a level 3 that we can purchase, which has a much better in-game effect for us. So now to resolve the series against the Philadelphia Phillies, each of us is going to roll a die and add that to our team quality, and then we'll get a differential and see how many wins we can record during the series. I'll be rolling the white dice and the opponents will be rolling the black. Here's the roll. All right, I have a 5 and the Phillies have a 3, so they have a total quality of 6. We have a total quality of 13, so that means our quality differential is 7. Examining the differential chart, that means we've won 15 games and the Phillies have won 7. So we're going to record our 15 wins on the win track. So we'll move our red wins roundel up to 15. And we're attempting to catch Pittsburgh Pirates, which have 88 wins. So we've got 15 so far from this first series. That's a pretty good start. And then we continue on by drawing another regular season card and see what our next opponent will be. Who is it? And this time we've got Brooklyn versus Boston. All right, Boston has a team quality of 6. So they're a little bit stronger than what we played against Philadelphia. So against Boston, we've only got a team quality advantage of 2. So we might want to use some of our cards to try to improve that situation if possible. And I've come up with an innovative way to gain some extra team quality. I'm going to play the Veteran Leadership card, and we're going to use it for the bottom portion, gain a regular. So we will be able to increase our regulars up to 6, and that is going to be an increase of 1 to our team quality. So we'll increase our team quality up to 9, and that's a permanent increase, at least for this season. So now we've got 9 versus their 6. So we'll roll our dice and see what we've got for a final total for this series against Boston. All right, we've each rolled a 5. So we've got a total of 9 and 5 is 14. Boston has a total of 11. So we've won by 3 points. Looking at the chart, 3 points would give us 13 wins. So we're going to increase our total by 13. So that it will move our total from 15 up to 28. And we're rounding the corner there. And we'll draw our next season card. See who we're playing against next. This time, Brooklyn versus Chicago. All right, Chicago has a team quality of 5. So currently we're 4 greater than Chicago. So we'll see what kind of series event cards we can play that will help our team. And I think we're going to play this card, Buyers and Sellers. And that says we can gain a star at the cost of 2 prospects and $4. So we're going to do that. We're going to give up 2 prospects and $4. Will be us down to $14, but we're going to gain an extra star. So we will gain a star from our star pool. And we're going to add him to our total. That's our 4th star. And now our team quality is going to be 4 for the stars, 2 for the regulars, that's 6, and 4 for our team manager, that's 10. And we moved our team quality now up to 10. So right now we are 5 greater than Chicago. So we're going to make our die roll, and we will add those to the totals and see what we got for a final result for the series. All right, both of us rolled a 6. So we have a team total quality of 16. He has a total of 11. So we've beaten him by 5. And checking the chart, 5 differential is 14 more wins for Brooklyn. So that's going to increase our wins for this season from 28 up to 42. All right, we need to get a total of 88 or better in order to beat Pittsburgh. All right, our next scheduled series is going to be against St. Louis versus Brooklyn. St. Louis has a team quality of 8, so it's a pretty good team. And they don't have a card that will really necessarily improve our team quality any, but I'm going to use this card, Mid-Season Call-Up, and we're going to use it for the bottom portion of the card. It says Gain a Prospect. So that will increase our prospects up by 1. And incidentally, what I'm trying to do is save this card, Scouts. If against an NPT, gain 1 team quality. And I'm going to save that if we're able to make it into postseason. It might be a good benefit for us. So we'll make the series roll against St. Louis and see how we do. We have a 2-point advantage in team quality. And we've rolled a 4. They have rolled a 1. So we've got 14 and they've got 9. We've won that series by 5, and that's going to earn us another 14 wins in that series. That's great. So that's going to move our wins up from 42 up to 56. And we're starting to close at least a little bit on Pittsburgh. And our next scheduled series is against New York. New York versus Brooklyn. New York has a team quality of 7. So we have a 3-point advantage in team quality against New York. So we'll see what kind of a card we can play here. And I think we're going to use this Talent Discovery card. And that says roll 2 dice and add your farm system value. If the total is, and whatever we get would be a prospect, regular, or possibly a star. So let's give that a shot. We're going to roll 2 dice and add in our farm system number. Farm system is currently at 3. So we'll be adding 3 to the roll. We've rolled a 5, so that'll give us a total of 8. That says gain a regular. So we'll be able to move our regulars up to 7. Not enough to gain any team quality, but we're moving there. And now we'll make our series roll and find out who wins the series versus New York. All right, we've rolled a 1. We have a total of 11. They have a 7 plus 3 is 10. We've won by 1, so we've got 12 wins only. 12 out of the 22. So 12 wins are added on to our 56, and that's going to give us a total of 68. We'll move our token up to 68. Now we need to acquire a total of 88 wins, so we're going to need 20 wins between the next two series that we have to match up against. And the next series is Brooklyn versus Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is the top dog in the league. And they have a team quality of 10. That's the same as us. And I think we're going to play the series event, Player Improvement. It's going to allow us to gain a regular. It's not enough to improve our team quality, but it would be within one of getting an improvement to team quality. So we'll use that card, and we'll resolve this as 10 to 10 in team quality. So we're hoping for a good roll against the league-leading Pittsburgh Pirates. And the result is not good for us. We have a 12, they have a 14. The differential is 2. So we look under the 2, and we're the loser in this category, so we're only going to be gaining 10 wins. So 10 wins will move up our total wins from 68 to 78. And we're at the final corner there. If we can get at least 10 wins or more, we're going to win our league. And we'll turn over our final regular season card and see where our last opponent is for this season. And it's going to be Cincinnati versus Brooklyn. Cincinnati is a very quality team. They have a team quality of 9. And I've elected to play the card Increase Fan Base. Roll 2 dice and add your front office value to that total. And depending upon what we've got, we will add fans to our fan track. Our front office is at a 3, so that's going to give us an extra 3 to this die roll. So here's the roll. Result is a 9 plus 3 is 12. And that's going to add 2 fans to our fan track, and that is great. So we'll add on an extra 2 fans, bringing us up to a total of 5. All right. And we're going to resolve our final series of the regular season versus Cincinnati Reds. They have a 9, we have 10. Here is the roll. And we've done pretty good. We have a total of 15. They have a total of 10. It's a differential of 5, and we're going to win 14 games. That is awesome. And that is going to increase our wins from 78 up to 92. And we have won the pennant for the Continental League. That is awesome. And now, since we have won the pennant, we are going to be facing the champion of the Federals League. And we will turn over a championship series card that's going to tell us their team quality compared to us, and then what type of numbers we're going to need to score wins. We've drawn the card number 7, and that the opponent's team quality is 16. So their team quality is 6 better than us. So we're going to end up, we have a team quality less than 16, and we're going to be able to get wins on rolls of 5 or 6 only. So this is a best of 7 series. All right. First team to win 4 games is going to be the World Series champion. All right, we're going to roll a d6, and using the criteria on this card, we can only get a win on a result of 5 or 6. So this is the game 1 result. We rolled a 1, so we've lost. And right now, the American League, or I should say the Federal League, is winning 1-0. This is the result of game 2. And we've lost that, so we are right now 0-2. Here's the third game. And we've lost that, so the Federal League now has a 3-0 lead. We're going to have to win 4 in a row to win the World Series. Here's game 4. And we've lost that. And they've swept us 4-0 in the World Series. But we have a pennant such as it is. So we're going to move on now from the postseason to finances and victory point calculations phase. So we're going to consult our income formula on the worksheet, and that's going to tell us the amount of income that we will gain for this coming next season, the 1912 season. We find out that we have a base income of 80, so we'll be able to move our 18 up to $98. Next, we gain $3 for every fan. Our fan base is at 5, so that's going to give us an extra $15 in revenue. So we'll increase our total to 15. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and we've got right now $109. Next, we can spend some of our media tokens, and we can gain $5 for each of those that we would choose to spend. I think we're going to preserve that media token for next season. And finally, it is our stadium reward. So we're going to check the Ebbets Field Stadium Board and see what we can gain from that. And we find out that we can qualify for two items. We have a level 1 bleachers, which is going to earn us $5, and a level 1 concessionary. So it's a total of $10. So we'll increase our total by $10, and now we're up to $119. That's our total income. Now we have to pay expenses. And looking at that, we have to find out what our star players' salaries are. We have a total of 4 star players. So we look on the back of one of those cards. We find out that the star players are going to cost us $50 just for those 4 star players. So we have to deduct a total of $50. So that will move us down 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And we are right now at $69 in the coffers. Then we have to spend $2 for every regular player. We have a total of 8 regular players. That'll be $16. So 10 and 6. We're down to $53. Next, we have to spend $1 for every prospect in the farm system. We have 2 of them, so that'll cost us an additional $2. And then finally, we have to pay for our farm system, front office, and manager. And those costs are listed as the following. $13 for our farm system, so we'll lower their total by 13. 10, 11, 12, 13, so we're down to $38. Next, we have $7 for our team manager. That'll move us down to $31. And finally, our front office is $10. That's going to leave us with $21 in the coffers. We managed to gain a pennant, but we're actually $1 less on our money tracker than when we started the season. Now we're going to calculate our victory points. Now we had 92 wins, so we have crossed the 6 victory point mark on the track at 90. So we're going to earn 6 victory points for that. So that will move our victory point tracker up to 6. Next, we would gain 1 victory point for winning the championship. Unfortunately, we fell short. We earned a pennant, but not the championship. Next, we can invest. And by using investment in Season 1, for every $30 we spend, we can gain an extra victory point for that. But we only have $24 in our coffers, so that won't be an option. And finally, we would earn victory points for every 5 prospects. We don't have 5 yet, so it'll be rounded down and we would get 0 victory points for that. So, after the conclusion of the 1911 season, the Brooklyn Dodgers have amassed 6 victory points. And finally, we're going to adjust our fan track. Now, this more represents not so much the number of fans, but the fan satisfaction. So examining where our token is on there, we've got an up arrow, and that says move marker 1 higher. So we move that up to 6. We've got 6 fan satisfaction. And now we have to draw 2 retirement tokens. The number of human players plus 1, and we have to choose one of these tokens to resolve. And we have drawn the tokens retirement of a regular and the retirement of a front office person, -1 to that level, and farm system, -1 to that level. So we're definitely going to be using the regular retirement. And that's going to reduce our regulars from 8 down to 7. So that wasn't too bad. And the last step in the phase is going to be the hot stove phase. To begin the hot stove phase, we're going to draw 2 cards from the top of the deck. And we are going to use the event portion of the cards only. The card event will be selected by the player with the fewest victory points, and that is us because we're the only human player. So we have to choose between these 2 hot stove events. We have expensive seats. All teams gain $3 multiplied by their highest single bleacher level. Or Carpenters Union. For $2, each team may make 1 bleacher innovation. All right. Well, we're a little low on cash. We've only got $21 in the coffers. So I think we're going to take advantage of that card, expensive seats. All teams gain $3 multiplied by their highest single bleacher level. Well, our bleacher level is at 1, so that will give us $3. And that's going to move us up to a total of $24. Next part is the hot stove cards phase. We're going to be dealt 3 cards. We can gain an extra card if we were level 4 in our front office, or an extra 2 cards if we were level 5. Well, our front office is a level 3, so we're only going to be entitled to 3 cards. We can use our media support to gain an extra hot stove card if we choose to. And I think we are just going to take the 3 cards, and we'll lay those out. We have to use those for the bottom portion of the card now. And I think we're going to play this middle card, and we're going to select regular for 2 prospects. So we are going to trade a regular, moving us down to 6, and we'll gain 2 prospects. That moves us up to 4 prospects. So that card has been played. I think we're going to play this card, media, and that's going to give us 3 media tokens. So we will gain 3 media tokens from the supply. And we'll add that to the 1 that we already have. And I think we'll play this last hot stove card, and we're going to drop our farm system 1 level to gain a victory point. So our farm system will be dropped down to 2, but we're going to gain a victory point. And finally, the last activity of a year will be to determine the winner of a bonus card that was revealed during spring training. Now, these season bonus cards aren't too valuable in the solo game, at least in this version of it, because we're the only player in this league. So in this case, it says the most impact players. Well, we have the most impact players. We have a total of 6 regulars and 4 stars. So we have a total of 10 impact players. There's no one else to measure against. So it says if you currently have or are tied for the most victory points, that would earn us an extra victory point. So that's what's going to happen. So our absolute final total for the 1911 season is going to be 7 victory points. And that completes our 1911 year, and will move us up to 1912. And I think I'm going to end the video here. This was intended just to give the viewers a look at Lords of Baseball, the components, and to play through one season. I'm going to be back in the future with another playthrough, and this time we're going to be using that Dead Ball Dynasty solo rules. And that will be a much more competitive game where these victory points are actually going to mean something, along with the season bonuses. So until then, I hope you enjoyed this preview of Lords of Baseball from Mr. B Games. Look forward to seeing you again in the next video, and in the meantime, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club signing off and wishing everyone a pleasant evening. Good night.